Hi, this is Jill. This is my first try at making a collaborative art video. I'm honored to be part of this group of wonderful artists. Please check the links underneath my video and check the other artists in the group. We have a challenge for the month of January to take an altered book page, create art out of it, trying to save some of the pictures or possibly some of the words. The book I'm using is an old early 1960s craft book for children, and this page spoke to me. It's a page on how to make stone jewelry. So you can see originally on the page there was the title, these 4 necklaces that were suspended in the middle of nowhere, and the directions on the bottom. Being this my first video and I'm nervous, I had to pre-plan some of it to make sure my idea would work. So I took a red Prismacolor pencil and I drew in these 4 ladies behind to hold the necklaces up so they weren't suspended in air. I put a quick washi tape down the side because this paper doesn't hold up really well. I have to trim off the top and the bottom, just hoping to give it a little support on the edge. So I have a plan. Let's see if it works. The other option was to try and leave some words. So I like this block right here, interesting shapes and colors. So that's the plan. I'm going to use some watercolor, maybe some gesso, and some doodling. Let's see what happens. Okay, I checked out that first part of the video and there was some odd clicking that went away. I hope it doesn't come back. And I thought I'd give you a close-up. Here is a close-up. Oops, the light's funny. Here's a close-up, the words. Okay. So I'm going to start with some watercolor. I've swatched out some colors. I'm going to start with the sap green on this girl's dress. I'm just going to give her a solid green dress. This is going to be, these are pretty abstract girls. It's not going to be super realistic. I'm going to make her dress go right up to the necklace. Maybe some of the other ones will get a different neckline. I don't know. I'm going to have to learn how to fast forward, so some of these slow parts we can just zoom through. I really want to leave the necklaces all their original color. Now my plan is at the bottom of their dress to leave, look, I'm concentrating on my watercolor, to leave some of the bottom plain and doodle in there matching the design on the necklace. I thought that would be pretty cool, like the big hemline of their dress matches their necklace. So let's give her a shape like that at the bottom. Alright, I kind of hope that dries a little more smoothly. Who knows on this paper. Alright, so next I need a nice yellow. I'm going to use, I don't have a bright enough yellow in my Danielle Smith's. I only have a Naples yellow. So I'm using a Jane Davenport Mango because I wanted a nice bright yellow on this girl. And if some of that green bleeds over, that'll be really nice. I don't mind at all. Oh, there it goes. That's all right. I want a little bit of that green to reflect off of her yellow dress anyway. Let's think about the bottom on this one. I'm going to give her a, there. Let's blend that green in. There, and that highlights the necklaces nicely. A little yellow up here. Okay, oops. Okay, next, maybe I'll skip her, let it dry, no, I'm going to keep going. Now I'm going to use some Quinn Deep Gold. Yes, I want it to be like a nice burnt orange. It's a lot of water I got there. Let's see what happens. Oops, I forgot about her bottom edge. That's a little too much bleed into that yellow. Maybe I should have skipped one. Done the next girl next. Okay. That's alright. I want this to be loose, not perfect. This is an art journal, not a fancy piece of art. Now I know what people mean when they say it's hard to think of something to talk about while you're painting. I hope this book is still in the screen when I spin it around. I might need to dab some of that off. Let me get some of that water off. Grab a paper towel. There's just too much water in there. There we go. When that's dry. Oh, I like the way the orange is kind of, I shouldn't have rubbed that out. I like the way that Quinn Gold was bleeding over there. That's okay, that works. I'm gonna let that Quinn Gold dry a tiny bit before I add the next dress. So maybe while I'm letting that dry, I'll start sketching in some hair. You know, the other reason I like this page is I'm one of 4 sisters. I have 3 sisters. We had no brothers. There was 4 of us growing up. My poor father had a house of all females. And this just makes me think of my 3 sisters. So, one always had very, very long hair. Now that she's older, she cuts it short. But she always had she was well known for hair that came all the way down. It was past her knees growing up. She got attention everywhere she went for that hair. So I'm going to give this girl really long hair, like my sister Dawn. Let's make it go like that. And this one, I'm going to give kind of a short, sort of a bob. None of us wear it that way, but we'll see what happens with those red lines. Since they're in colored pencil, they're probably not going to go away. I just have to hope they cover up. So there's, okay, this would be my older sister who has very curly hair. Let's give her hair like that. You know what else? I wanted to try and keep this word stone jewelry. So I think what I'm going to do is draw a little box around it because I want to keep that. And it goes right through their faces, but this is going to be abstract. There are going to be abstract faces anyway. And I know I'm going to use some gesso, so I don't want to cover over that stone jewelry. Let me do this. I don't think, no, the red colored pencil won't erase. Okay, so there's my third hairstyle. And this one over here, let's just give her a simple like that. Okay. Now, maybe I can do this last dress. Maybe it's dry enough. He's going to be blue. I'm going to use a Mayan Blue Genuine. It's another Danielle Smith color. Let's see. I hope that's dark enough. Gotta go down around the edge of this page here. I'm not gonna worry what I get on the next page. I haven't even thought about what I'm gonna do with that yet. I gotta remember to leave those words there. That's why I drew the box around them, and I'd never remember. Being an altered book, this paper doesn't behave anything like watercolor paper, but that's kind of the charm of it, right? Alright, so the bottom of her dress, I think I want to bring it down, something like that. There we go. Those words stand out nicely. Probably a really annoying sound my palette is making. All right. That's good. I think I'm going to let that dry, stop the video, and I'll come back to start working on their faces and their hair. Okay, I'm back, and this is dry. I made a decision to go ahead and do their hair. I thought it would be easiest to just use some mermaid markers. They're convenient. I'm not sure these are the right colors, but my sister with the long hair, she had light brown hair, blonder when we were young, but I'm going to give her brown. Let's see. And I don't want to fill it in solid. I want to leave some suggestion of hair flowing all the way down the side. That's nice. Come around here. Make sure I leave some white highlights in there, or light I should say, but real dark here where it's behind. Oh. That's good. That does remind me of my sister. Let me fix this a little. I'm going to do their faces with this colored gesso so I can smooth out any lines. Although, you know, these mermaid markers do bleed up through gesso. I have to be really careful of that. They're so water soluble, they just come right up through your gesso. Alright, none of my sisters has black hair, but this is not really true to life. This girl here is going to have a little, see that red pencil showing through? It's alright. Little dark haired sort of bob. This will be me wannabe. One day I'd love to make my hair some dramatic color. Okay. Alright. Oh, let me make that a little smoother. Alright. Now, my oldest sister, all my sisters have such a wonderful sense of style. She is the one that's always been more willing to try unusual things. She's going to get purple hair. I'm sure at some point in her life she did have purple hair. Let's see. I'll bring it down a little bit below this. There, I like that. Okay. So we have brown, black, purple. I hope this isn't too light. I like to make, I think these colors of hair too go with this interesting shapes and colors. Because, you know, it's a big topic in my country right now about celebrating diversity, at least among some of us. And the fact that we can all live here together. Oh, no, look at the bleed in. That's all right. We'll clean that off. It's all right. That won't be fixable. That's all right. I can live with that. As long as it stops bleeding right there and doesn't keep going. I might go back later and try and add some details in their hairs, but in their hair. But anything I use is pretty much going to reactivate that mermaid marker. Alright, so for their faces, on impulse, I always buy things on impulse and then underuse them. This Holbein colored gesso, it's called Jaune Brilliant. I haven't found many uses for this, so I thought I would use it for their skin color. I squeezed some out here on my palette, and I'll use this little tiny flat brush and see if I can put in their faces and neck in sort of a skin color. I think what I'll do is I'll stop the camera, I'll paint these all in, and come back with them finished and dry. But on camera here, I'll at least do one. I don't think I intend to put features on these girls. I'm just going to leave their faces, maybe with a little suggestion of a face, but I want the focus to stay on those necklaces. Let's see. I also thought about making each of the 4 girls a different skin tone, along with that diversity theme I was talking about. But quite frankly, I think it'll get too busy, and it'll be too distracting. Now look, I like the way that hair bled there. I'll go back with some details. And I also like the way, I don't know if you can see it, I like the way some of the graphite pencil and the red pencil are showing through their hair. Alright, let me stop the camera, finish up my skin tones, and I'll be back. Okay, while I was doing that, I noticed the mistake I made. Probably several of you noticed. I went right through the words there with their hair. That's part of that nervousness of the first time I ever tried to talk on video while I art. But that's the beauty of mixed media, right? Anything can be brought back. So, to do some detail, their hair is all dry, their faces are dry. To do some detail on their hair, I thought the best thing would be colored pencil. A white jelly roll really doesn't work on top of mermaid markers. There's the dye in those are so strong it bleeds right up through the jelly roll. So I'm going to take some white Prismacolor pencil and try and bring these words. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe at the end I'll have to go in there with some white gesso. I don't know. But let's try this white pencil. There we go. Some details on the black hair. Let's try some of this on the brown here. Just to add a little texture. I don't know if I like it or not. I'm going to use some of this red. And I can shade in a little bit. And what am I going to do for the purple? How about, I'll go back to this color. Just to increase the the curly look of her hair. I really like the way their two hair meld together there. Alright, I also got some browns to try and just give a little bit of shading under the chin and neck. Nothing fancy, just give it a little depth, a little shape, maybe a little bit of shading here under her chin. That was another nice thing about using the gesso. Colored pencil works so nice on top of gesso. I just noticed how low her cleavage is. I could have brought her yellow dress up to here, but that's all right. Okay, I'm really happy with the way this is coming out. I will work on that title, Stone Jewelry, later. I also grabbed my jelly roll, size 6, to start this doodling down here on the bottom. Like I said, I want to make each girl's hemline match. Let me start with an easy one. I'll start with this one. So, that's a nice, easy doodle flower to make. Let's do another one here. I thought about stopping the camera and doing this doodling offline so it wouldn't be too boring, but look how fast that's going. Now originally I thought about having a distinct line of where the, look, I'm going to make these two kind of where the doodling would end and the color would start, but I kind of like that going right over top. Look, I'm not even doing fancy filled-in circles. I'm just doing a quick suggestion. It's because I'm trying to work fast on camera. Let's make a part of a flower coming in over here. And she's got some circles going around that flower. And done. I think I am. I'm going to add a black line. Just part way up. Alright, this is an easy one. It's got a line, kind of a solid line in the middle. You know, in my years of Zentangling, everything had to be so precise. Everything had to be a perfectly straight line. You had to be mindful. Now I enjoy just kind of sketchy doodling. It doesn't bother me at all that my lines aren't perfect. Everything's not even. Oops, totally wrong shape on that leaf. It's alright. I'm going to go back in. Now see how there's little white spots left in those? I'm going to try and leave not perfectly colored in so it matches. I can always add some. Alright, so you get the idea on that. I probably will do one and a partial one showing at the bottom. It's looking kind of busy, isn't it? Let's see. This one goes around. These are great doodle ideas and designs for use somewhere else. Okay, so this is what I have going so far. I don't know, I'm going to finish up the doodling, see if I like it as much as I thought I would, and I will come back. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. A few little things I wanted to show you. I did enjoy doing this doodling off camera. It was fun. I could let my mind wander where it wanted and not have the pressure of trying to talk. I tried to bring back the O and E in stone, and you can see the white acrylic paint turned gray again because of that mermaid marker. I'm going to continue to try and find something to do with that. The one thing that's bothering me a little bit is I don't like the flatness of this white part of their dresses. So I grabbed a couple of Prismacolors that are close to the colors I have, just to give a little shading and depth. Let's start with the sap green. Just going to add a little color between their dresses. So now I need sort of a gold. I want to bring that gold. I guess I could have got my watercolors back out, but at this point it just seems easier. Put in a little shading. Here's an orange, particularly down next to this blue dress. I like that. It just carries the depth of between the girls. Down a little further, last one, some blue. Oh, it's not even close to the same blue. That's alright. I don't care. There. So there we have it. Stone jewelry. There's a few things that really speak to me in this. One is that they have no faces. Seems to me their identity is all in their jewelry, and maybe that's some kind of social statement, you know, that what we portray and how we look, you know, is some sort of weight around our neck, maybe, you know, of how we look to others and we lose our own identity. I don't know. I really like this. Thank you for the challenge. This was really fun, and thank you for being patient with me in my first efforts at this. And make sure you check the other links below and see what the other artists did with the same challenge. I realized I didn't have it in the picture. There's one last full shot.